The Daily Code Snippet. Today we will talk about positioning our images. We will look at an example of what we would like our layout to look like. In this screen recording, we have a web page where we have an article, and that article has a featured image at the top and two other images. The second image is to the left and has the text flowing around it, while the other image is to the right and has the text flowing around it. There is also space between the image border and the text. What should we do first to code this? Each image will need to add class attributes in order to target each image with CSS to position them appropriately. Why would you not use the unique ID attribute rather than class attributes? Because you may want to add additional images that have similar placement. Here is our HTML. We see that we have a section. That section has an H3 article heading. There are several instances of paragraph text with placeholder text, and we have our three image elements. Note, for the purpose of our video, we are truncating some of the placeholder text in alt and title descriptions. This way we can focus your attention to the key HTML code. Because we have three images and we will be styling them differently, we added class attributes so that they can be targeted individually. Our featured image will display just after our article heading and span the full width. It is a crop of the image we used for demonstration purposes in our last video. The left image is floated to the left so that the text can wrap around it, and our right image is floated to the right so our text can wrap around it. Now we can look at the CSS. What would be the CSS of our featured image? Here's the CSS for our featured image. We target that image by having a selector that says period featured because it is a class attribute. And we set the width to 100%. This is fairly simple. We want the image to span the full width. Why don't we specify the height too? The default is for the height to be auto and display proportionally. What would be the CSS of the image to the left? Here's the CSS for the image to the left. We target period left. We want the image to span only about 1/3 of the full width of the containing element. By floating the image to the left, it remains in normal flow and the text will move around it. Why do we need to add margin? In order to not have the text right at the edges of the image, we add some margin to the relevant sides so that the text wraps around with some space in between. What would be the CSS of the image to the right? Here's the CSS for the image to the right. We target period right. Again, the image will only span about 1/3 of the full width of the containing element. We float this image as well, but to the right instead. Why do we need to add margin? We also add margin to the relevant sides so there is a little space between the image and the text. Now that we have seen the code, let's look again at how this would display on our page. Presented by Designers Learn Code.